And Queen City News is your local election headquarters. Former President Donald Trump is preparing for his next campaign rally in Iowa Friday. But before going up north, he was in South Carolina yesterday for a July 4th event in Pickens. As Elise Devlin reports, the event included cheers and criticism.
Applause and USA chants from Trump supporters as the former president flew over Pickens before taking the stage on Main Street Saturday afternoon.
We are a nation that has lost its way, but we are not going to allow this horror to continue.
The speech comes after Trump became the first former president in U.S. history to face criminal prosecution. It's something he addressed, calling out the FBI and the Department of Justice.
What I do legally. In other words, whatever documents a president decides to take with him, he has the absolute right to do so.
South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster and Senator Lindsey Graham introduced Trump, welcoming him to the state of South Carolina and showing their support for him in the 2024 election.
We had great judges that Donald Trump put on the Supreme Court. We had unlimited prosperity. We had confidence. Our people had confidence, and our allies and our friends were confident in us. And our foreign enemies were scared to death, and that's why they didn't make a move during those 4 years.
While the crowd booed Senator Graham from the start of his speech to the end, Senator Graham was the official who suggested Trump speak at this event.
I helped him get 3 judges on the Supreme Court that overruled Roe v. Wade. I was on the front line of the fight.
When I need some of those liberal votes, he's always there to help me get them, okay?
Trump acknowledged the location of this speech, marking the first time he's ever done a Main Street rally. But he also noted that he was in South Carolina, nodding to the other Republican presidential candidates hailing from the state.
Tim Scott, who happens to be a good man, by the way. But you have Tim Scott and you have Nikki Haley running.
He spent much of the hour and 40-minute speech criticizing President Biden, highlighting inflation and the Russia-Ukraine war, as well as transgender athletes. But he also discussed recent events like affirmative action and Biden's student loan plan.
We're back to the old merit system that built our country. That was a big one. That was a big one. And then yesterday, the Supreme Court also ruled that President Biden is not allowed to wipe out hundreds and hundreds of billions, probably trillions of dollars in student loan debt, which would have been very unfair to the millions and millions of people who have paid their debt through hard work and diligence. They paid their debt off.
It was quite the eventful rally, Elise Devlin reporting. The speech was part of the city of Pickens' July 4th weekend celebrations, which continue today through Tuesday.